What up? What up? It is Alex, the Fantasy Football Hustler, back at you. And got another quick hitting waiver wire video. This is for your streaming defenses. I got 5 defenses to get on your radar. Always trying to mention teams that are 50% rostered or less. I got one exception this week because it is very slim out there. We got the Browns, Packers, Raiders, and Seahawks on bye. 4 out of the next 5 weeks, we got insane bye weeks. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to highlight teams that you should pick up for this week, but also let you know their schedules, like moving forward on games where you might be able to use them more than just this week. Hit that subscribe button. Let's buckle up. I told you that this list is very ugly. I got to start with the New York Giants. They're only 8% rostered. It is ugly. Ugly. But they play the Carolina Panthers this week, who've been giving up a lot of points to team defense. If you're picking up the Giants week 10 and week 14, could be some weeks that you want to deploy them. Potentially week 30. That's when they play the Cowboys. Who knows the Dak and CD situation. But yeah, if you are very desperate, go pick them up.
Pick them up!
My next team here, they're 10% rostered, and the lack of options is crazy this week. Just a lot of bad matchups this week. The Falcons, they got the Saints. Let's see what version of the Saints that we actually get. Maybe we don't get Olave after the concussion. So even though the Falcons have not been that great, they got some good matchups coming up. This week, they got the Saints. They got Denver in week 11. Not the best, but they haven't been the worst either. And then 14, 15, and 16, you got some solid matchups. Weeks 15 and 16, you're facing 2 of the teams giving up top 5 points to team defense. So the Falcons, you could do a lot worse.
Pick them up!
And you might need to house them for the playoffs. Now, this team only rostered in 5% of redraft leagues. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, picking them up will depend on your level of desperation for this week. Minnesota, they haven't been doing that good to where team defenses aren't scoring on them. So they are a decent-ish matchup this week. But the matchups that I want to highlight for them specifically, week 14 versus the Titans, week 16 versus the Raiders, week 17 versus the Titans. So if you want to get extra sneaky,
pick them up!
Because their schedules, week 14, 16, and 17, amazing. I got 2 more teams left to highlight. If you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. This next team, the Washington Commandos. Now, they're rostered in 55% of leagues. 55! It was impossible to find anybody else. This week was so ugly. But now here's what I got to say about the Commandos. Not a great matchup this week versus Pittsburgh. But after this week, they have nothing but amazing matchups moving forward. Every team that they're playing is in the top half of giving up points to team defense. Maybe barely in the top half like the Atlanta Falcons in week 17, but the top half nonetheless. They just got Lattimore from the Saints, so that's going to improve their defense as well. A lot of good things happening for the Commandos this year. They're going to win that division, and they're going to go on a run. It's going to be very interesting to see. And it could all start with this team defense for you moving forward after this week for those Commandos. Now, the Lions. I don't know if I saved the best for last necessarily here because they got Houston. But Houston, with all the pieces that they're missing, might be a decent matchup for you this week. Week 13 and 16, those are the highlighted weeks. That's when they go up against Chicago. Going to be very ugly for Chicago. And the Lions are 47% rostered, so I didn't have to cheat to get them on the list here. Options are very, very limited this week, so that's why the Lions in a matchup would even be on here. But unless they get Nico Collins back, why wouldn't we like the Lions versus the Texans this week? And there you have it. Made it to the end of this team defense video. I am always bringing you the hitters week after week. Don't forget to check out all the other waiver wire videos that are popping up. And don't forget, unlike most fantasy content creators, after week 17 when they go on vacation and all that, I'm actually starting more leagues. And I want to tell you guys about it now because they're starting 2 months from now. The season ends January 5th. We are drafting January 5th all the way through the wild card Saturday. We're going to have a couple morning drafts as well. NFL playoff leagues. I've been hosting them for years and years. They're super fun. You guys don't want to miss out. Very affordable. $20, $35, and $55 buy-ins. I don't let the party end like a lot of these guys do. So if you want to stay in the loop, you could be here, but I recommend go joining our Patreon, 420crew.com. You can join for free to stay in the loop. I recommend joining as a paid member. I don't have any corporate sponsorship, so show some love, guys. I appreciate you. And you know what else you can do to show some love? Rinse and repeat, because I'm bringing the heat. Go click on one of these waiver wire videos that are popping up right now. And if you plan an IDP league, go look for my waiver wire IDP video as well.